Here, as a base on simulation, first we build a model which will generate a sample transaction data in this simulation. Here we will type the number of transactions we have to generate, and here is the method we have to use. First one is ECDSA. In ECDSA, like example is of ECDSA is if a person needs to send a money, if person A needs to send money to person B, the if person A sends money to person B, it will generate a signature, and the signature generated is the one is the public key and one is the private key. So the system verifies the signature using each public key. So for this ECDSA, and here if we generate the transactions, it will generate the transaction data. Here is the data. It will include the sender, receiver information, amount, timestamp, non-signature, public key, and transaction type, and message and algorithm we have used. So after we have created this transaction data, we have to upload it here. After uploading, we have to analyze this data. So it says the file processed successfully. Here is the analysis of our uploaded data. The total number of transactions is 114. The verified is 94. Invalid signatures are 0. If the signature is invalid, the transaction will be failed. So that's why we have only created the valid signatures. And here are the suspicious transaction our model detected. So this is the graphical representation of our analyzation. This is this one and this one. And in the verify page, we will see the total valid signatures and the suspicious activity. Here we will see the transaction IDs, the sender name, receiver name, and the amount they have transferred, and the timestamp, and the signature, whether it is a valid or not, and the nonce. The nonce is basically a nonce is called when signature is generated or random number of string is generated, which is called as a nonce. It is only used once. If it used for the twice, it will detect as a fault. The hacker will be use it to replay the transaction for the multiple transactions. So here there are some examples of the non-use. It is saying a reuse. That's why it is flagged as a risk level as high. So based on this, in the fraud analysis, if we generate the run analysis, it will detect the patterns of our frauds and the high severity or not. They will tell that the affected users by this transaction. It will show all the data. The first one is like here you detect the circular payment look, which is like a money laundering. It affected addresses. It will show the affected user 4, 10, 3, 1, and 6. And it says the possible laundering. And involved users are total number of involved users are 5. And affected transaction ID, the transaction 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a random number, and it will show the transaction IDs, cycle 1 and cycle 2 and cycle 3. 7 more loops are there. Nonce reuse attack, like I have told earlier, that if the nonce is used twice, it replay the transactions. And same goes for ECDSA, replay value reuse. So it will show the affected addresses and affected transaction IDs of it. So here are the common patterns. It will show us the circular payment loop, nonce reuse, and suspicious of the rapid chain transaction. Here are the per transaction verdicts on the data we have created. We show like this. After that, in the fraud analysis, I will show our detailed verdicts like this. I will show you all here. Network. In the network, we will see the graph, network graph, and here we can, if we zoom in, it will show the user as a node and the transaction as our edge. And in the transaction, we will see the transaction ID and the sender and receiver name, and also the amount and timestamp of it. We can see each of the uploaded graphs nodes like users and age as a transactions. If we want to see the particular user's data as a graph, we just have to write the name and create it as a search and use isolate feature. So it will show the all transaction of that user 9. So here is the user 8, 2, 3, and that all transactions. And below that, it will show the details of that particular users, like risk score of that user. And the reports, we can actually download the generated report, which is it will tell it is an audit report of our analysis. It will tell the total transactions and whether it is safe or not, total number of that particular user, the fraud patterns, and it is alert or not, the circular loops, suspicious of that, overall risk levels, and it will also tell the fraud pattern analysis we have done. So this is the analysis we have done: launch, use, attack, ECDSA, R value reuse, and all of the circular payment loops analysis, cycle 1, cycle 2. It is for the future analysis, so user can see. So all